forgotten what it's called. I've confused myself. Number... Let me do that again. Hi. I hope you're all good. Welcome back to Kirsty's Booked, and today I'm going to tell you my top 20 books of 2023. Okay, so we're going to start at number 20, Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I really loved this one. I have read a few other Christina Lauren books. I wasn't the biggest fan of... Oh my word, I've actually forgotten what it's called. Brilliant start. Oh my god, what is it called? I don't know. Anyway, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. It was good, but it was just okay. Like, it was fine, but it didn't live up to the hype. So I was hesitant about this one, but I loved it. It was really, really good. It's lovely. It's a lovely summer read. I would highly recommend a summer read. It's very similar to Every Summer After, I would say. Those are very similar books. Second book in a Christmas book, it is The Holiday Stand-In by Courtney Kiesel. I love Courtney Kiesel. I've read 2 of her Christmas rom-coms and really want to read some of her actual rom-coms. I think I've read one. I think I've arc read one and it was amazing. But I really loved this. I hate a love triangle, apart from things like, you know, your Hunger Games love triangle, but this had a love triangle in it and I actually loved it. Very surprising. It was just a really sweet, cute Christmas rom-com. These ones are completely clean, but you still get the lovely romance. So I really did like that one. Yeah, see, I've confused myself because I don't have physical books of some of these. Number 18 is Love Elias. I will put a photo of the cover up there, and I arc read this one early on in the year and it was amazing. I sobbed my heart out for this for so long, and she's just self-published it earlier on this year, and it is a dystopian, and if you want to go and read it, I would highly recommend it. It is proper good. Number 17 is very similar to that. It is, again, I don't have a physical copy for it because I arc read it. It is When Death Is Coming by Jen Woodrum, and she's one of my friends on Bookstagram, and she's an incredible writer, lovely person and an incredible writer. And again, it is a dystopian novel, and she's got the next one coming out this year, I believe. It is so unpredictable. The characters are amazing. Again, it is very heart-wrenching, but it is also amazing. So I would highly recommend those if you are looking for some dystopia. Definitely those two. And we're sticking kind of with the dystopia, but we're going a little bit into fantasy. Number 16 is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. If you watched my last video, you saw I was talking a little bit about Leigh Bardugo and this duology. I love this. If you've read it, I loved it. I love found family. I think it's one of my favourite tropes, and if it's done well, I think it's really beautiful. I really enjoyed this one. It's so clever. I love a little bit of romance in it. I do rather Crooked Kingdom, but I'll get onto it in a minute because it is a lot higher up in this in this ranking, but this blew me away. Loved it so much, and I really want to reread it and annotate it. So at some point this year I will do that. Number 15 I also don't have a physical copy of. I think after this I've all got physical copies, so it's a lot less confusing. It is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Now, I love Ali Hazelwood. I have been there since Love Hypothesis, and I think I've read almost every book she's written and loved them. But I think Love Theoretically is her best. Again, I read an arc of it on NetGalley very early on this year, and it was the best one yet. Definitely, hands down. There's so much more than just a rom-com. Yes, the romance is like the main storyline, but there's so much more than just a rom-com. Like, I love all her like women in STEM stuff. Personally, was never a science person, but I love it. I love the feminist representation. and her love interests are always just like the sweetest green flags. So I would highly recommend that if you are wanting to get started on Ali Hazelwood or haven't read any Ali Hazelwood. I would highly recommend her books. They are a lot more spicy than they look though, so I will warn you there, but they are very, very good. Number 14, Archer's Voice. Number 14 is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. Let me do that again. This book, if you've read it, you know, it is beautiful. It's an absolute masterpiece. Again, really heartbreaking. Again, very spicy. I actually can't. I need to reread this. I really want to annotate it. This is gorgeous. It is so, so beautiful. I can't even put into words how to explain it to you. If you've read it, you know. It's really deep, and it's really, really beautiful. I'm not even doing it justice because I don't know how to tell you how good it is. But please go and read it. If you are looking for a romance that's so much more than just your everyday cheesy rom-com, this is it. This is what you're looking for. It will break you, so I'll warn you, but it's worth it, okay? This is number 13, Wildfire by Hannah Grace. Okay, you heard it here first. This was better than Icebreaker. I know. I think I read Icebreaker last year because I expected it to be on my list for this year, but it wasn't. So I think I read it last year. Love Icebreaker. This one's better. I would advise reading Icebreaker first though. You don't have to. They're like slightly connected series. So they're standalone books, but there's like connecting characters. So the main character in this is a side character in Icebreaker. But I would recommend reading Icebreaker, then reading Wildfire. I really like this. I love the way that Hannah Grace writes. Again, it's very spicy, but I love the way she writes. This is dual POV. I don't remember if Icebreaker was, but this one definitely is. Again, I would advise a summer read, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah, I love this one. It was really nice. I haven't thought about a lot of these books until I was compiling this list, and I forgot how much I loved some of them. Next one, The Long Game by Eleanor Armis. Now, you know the hype around Eleanor Armis. I will say, The Spanish Love Deception did not live up to the hype. It was good, but it just wasn't as spectacular as everyone said it was. Then her one after that, The American Roommate Experiment, it was even better than The Spanish Love Deception, and The Long Game was even better than The American Roommate Experiment. The Spanish Love Deception and The American Roommate Experiment are slightly connected series, like Wildfire. They've got the main character of American Roommate Experiment is a side character in Spanish Love Deception, but this is a complete standalone. You don't have to have read her other two. But yeah, this was the best one she's written. I love a sports romance, and this was kind of a sports romance, but without being like a huge sports romance, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it was a while ago since I read it, so I'm trying to like remember what it's about, but it's really good. There's a reason it's this high up on the list, considering I read over 100 books. Number 11, Happy Place. I'm sorry, can we just take a second for the spreads? Yeah, thank you. Happy Place by Emily Henry. I love Emily Henry. She's one of my favourite authors. I had a feeling I had all of her books. I don't know where they are, so I've read a lot of Emily Henry and I love them. I would advise this as a summer read. Oh, I can't remember exactly what happens, but I just know that it is absolutely beautiful. I think it's like fake dating. A little bit. I think it's like fake dating. I think they have been together for a really, really long time, but they've broken up, but they're fake dating to pretend to their friends that they're still together. I think is what it is. I've made it sound rubbish, but it is really, 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 really good. I definitely am going to reread this at some point and maybe annotate it, though I don't really want to do annotations with spreads, but yeah, this is a gorgeous book, and if you know Emily Henry, you know that I don't think it's possible for Emily Henry to ever write anything that is bad, and Happy Place is definitely one of her best. Almost there, well, halfway there. Number 10 is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I love Sarah Adams with all my heart. I would read anything that Sarah Adams has ever written. If she has got shopping lists that she wants for Fred, like, honestly, I will read anything she's ever written. I've annotated this one too. As you can probably tell from this video, I love annotating books. I have annotated quite a few. I only really started this year. I'll maybe do a video with all my annotated books or something like that at some point. I only annotate them when I reread though. So I read this twice this year, and this is beautiful. This is just like so heartwarming. And for Christmas I got the sequel to it, which I have read, and it's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. But I'm not going to properly talk about it on here. But again, this is the start of an interconnected series. I love Rome, Kentucky. I love small town romances. And again, this is like a celeb romance, kind of. The love interest in here, Noah Walker, he is the biggest green flag. I love him so much, and their relationship is just perfect. It's just what you want. I'm a huge fan of this book. I'm a huge fan of Sarah Adams, and I absolutely love this one. It's just like a warm, comforting hug. We are on to Single Digits. I got interrupted. One day I'll be able to make a video where there is not a change of camera angle halfway through. Number 9 is The Ones That Write Themselves by Sydney Boland. I will say I got a PR box of this, my first ever PR box, earlier on this year. It stopped me because my storage is full, so I've just had to go and delete some apps, so I'm gonna have to try and make this quick because I feel like it'll cut me off again. Where are we? Yes. If you can hear the background noise, I'm really sorry. This book blew me away. It has been released now. This was an ARC copy. Again, she just self-published it. This book is incredible, completely clean, but the romance is so lovely. It's set in Ireland, which I've been to once. I would highly recommend visiting. I'd love to go again because it was a long time ago that I went. This is proper special. This is like a beautiful book. It's just so lovely. I really love this one. It's like nothing I've ever read before. It is probably one of the best rom-coms I've read this year, hence why it is so high up on this list. I would really recommend this one. I think I was in a reading slump as well before this, and I just sped through this one because it was just genuine joy. Just joy in a book. That's what it is. Number 8 is I'll Never Be by A.L. Fox. Again, I was sent this one as an ARC, so I've got a nice big bookmark, and it's signed. This book was exactly what I needed when I read it. You know when you read a book and it just hits you on a deeper level because of the state you're in when you're reading it and when you read it. This was this book to me. I needed this book. I don't even know how to describe it to you. It is beautiful. It is heartbreaking. Yeah, this book was what I needed at that time. It's what yeah. And I just loved it. Hello. It's day 2 of filming this video. We had a whole situation yesterday where I was in the middle of filming this video and my phone is so low on storage that it wouldn't let me film anything else. So I had to go and try and sort that whole situation out, but I'm back. You are unlikely to be surprised that this next book is on my list, but you might be surprised it's all the way down at number 7. The next book is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm in the middle of rereading and annotating it, but I haven't finished annotating. I love this book. As you know, I mean, you've probably read it. If you've not read it, where have you been? And please do. It's proper amazing. I love Rebecca Yarros. I've got Iron Flame, but I'm too scared to read it. I will at some point this year, but I'm really scared of it. But yeah, this blew me away. The plot twists are amazing. Again, you are gonna cry. I actually did a whole series on my Bookstagram of me reacting to the whole of this book, and I loved it. But yeah, this is a proper well written book. I thought it was going to be higher up in my list, but it wasn't. Just because the ones above it are even better, not because this is bad. Just missing out on the top 5, As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. Again, more spreads. I've got this whole series. I have just got the first book in a collector's edition, and I'm hoping to get the whole series in a collector's edition when they come out properly. But this one is the best book in the series. I love Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This one sat on my shelf for an embarrassingly long amount of time. And this year I reread Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Good Girl Bad Blood, and then read this one. This blew me away. The whole series is amazing, but this is the best one, 100%. It's so exciting. I love the characters anyway. I did not see any of what happened in this coming. It was so unexpected. It's a lot more dark than the rest of the series, and it does sort of stray away a little bit from the narrative of the first two, but it is spectacular. It's had me on the edge of my seat. I read it really quickly because it's so suspenseful, and the tension. Oh, go and read it. Read the whole series first though. I don't think it would make much sense just reading it on its own. Definitely read the whole series, and read the series before the TV show comes out, which I'm very excited for and looks amazing. So that's also coming out this year. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent again. That's twice I've gone on a tangent. Last video I didn't save. I'm really excited, okay? I love this series. Love Holly Jackson. We've made it to the top 5. Number 5 is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Again, this sat on my shelf for such a long time. Really scared of it. The hype is huge. It lives up to the hype 100%. If you ever waited to read this like me, go and read it right now. I loved every second of this. Read it so quickly, became like obsessed with it, and I have since read the whole series, which gets even better, but I'm going to keep that for another video. But honestly, this book is amazing. I've not read romantasy like it. I suppose it's more fantasy than romantasy. There is a bit of romance, but it's not as prominent because it's YA. But yeah, this book got me back in fantasy. I used to read fantasy all the time, and then I started just reading mostly romance, a little bit of literary fiction, a little bit of thrillers. This book has got me back into fantasy, and this year I've read a lot of fantasy and plan on reading a lot more fantasy throughout the whole of this year. I also plan on reading every single book Holly Black has ever written, so yeah. Okay, number 4 is In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. You've probably seen this one, but you've definitely seen number 3, which is Love Light Farms. Love Light Farms is the first book in the series, although I read In the Weeds first. Again, they're an interconnected series. You'd never be able to tell that I like romances like that. Again, small time romance. They're set at different seasons, so this one is the Christmas one, and this one is the autumn one. And I'm hoping to get the next one, and then the 4th one is coming out this year, I think in July. But anyway, I really liked this one. It's so lovely. A little bit spicy, which you wouldn't tell. I mean, the covers are gorgeous. Yeah, this one is really good. This one is just slightly better. This is Fake Dating and Best Friends to Lovers, which is like perfect, and there is not really stupid miscommunication. It is just a proper gorgeous book, a gorgeous couple, and I love the setting of a Christmas tree farm. I mean, it's the setting in both, but this one is at Christmas time, so it's like perfect. This is the best Christmas book I've ever read, and as you can tell, I loved it very much. 3rd favourite book of the year. Number 2, The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. You heard me go on about my love for Sarah Adams earlier on. And this book started it all. I don't think she will be able to beat this. Every one of her books comes close to it, but this one will always be the best. It is always a special place in my heart. I read this early on in the year and it stayed high up in this list. Really want to reread it. Sports romance, but this couple is just so perfect for one another. Oh, I love this book very much. If I'm going to recommend you to read one romance book ever, read this one. Definitely you won't regret it, I promise you. Right everybody, this is the moment you have been waiting for. My top one, my favourite book of 2023 is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I promised you this was going to be on this list somewhere, and it is. This book, even better than Six of Crows, it's just perfect. The characters are amazing, the plot is fantastic, the world building, honestly, but it doesn't feel like there's no information dumps thrown into this book. It's a thick book, right? But you just get so drawn into it, and I would give everything to reread this for the first time again. I can't even explain it to you. It's just so perfect. There's a reason it is my top book of the year. If you've not read it, please go and read it. Read Six of Crows first, because it doesn't really make sense on its own, but please read it. Yeah, I'm gonna this year read literally everything else from Leigh Bardugo now that I'm back in my fantasy. There will be a reread of this at some point, because I just loved it so much. You just can't beat it. So there you go. Yeah, I don't even have any more reasons. I just couldn't top it. So this was it. This was my highlight of the reading year. Out of all 102, 103 books I read, this is my favourite. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you've watched this whole video, that means so much to me. It's crazy that any of you do watch this video and watch my videos and madness. If you want to subscribe or like this video or comment or anything like that, I would again be very grateful. I'm just happy that you watched this. So yeah, I will speak to you all soon. Thank you.